and welcome to the Gig Strategic Show on the Gig Strategic YouTube channel for digital marketers, for small business owners interested in learning more about digital marketing. And this is our first episode, and we're going to talk today about your website. So I want to thank you, business owners, first of all, for taking some time out of your busy schedule. I know it's not easy being a business owner. And it can be, there's a lot of, there's time it takes to learn and to grow your business. And digital marketing may not be the most exciting thing for you to look at or to consider as a business owner, but it is something we know is very necessary. We know that you want to get some value out of this, and so we're going to be working to provide that for you week after week. One promise I can make is that this show will definitely encourage you to be accountable. Accountability is something that, as a business owner, I know you need that sometimes. We all need accountability, and if nothing else, you're going to get that as you watch these episodes. This one with websites, you're going to learn something about your website. You're going to learn some of the do's and don'ts with your website, and I guarantee if you do the things we talk about on this website, it's going to increase your ranking on the search engines, as well as traffic to your website and overall conversion rate and experience for your customer. Did you know 92% of small business owners think that having a website is the most effective digital marketing strategy? Almost 100%. That's high, 92%. But only 64% of small business owners actually have a website, have their own website. And 47% of small business owners handle marketing efforts on their own. Small business owners I know are very busy. They're very budget conscious, and a lot of times we put on our digital marketing hat at times, and we'll try to do those things ourselves because we're smart. We know a little bit about it, and heck, it saves us some money. So that's what a lot of small business owners I have found will do that. So why this show? Why the Gig Strategic Show for digital marketing for small business owners? And this is to help us fulfill our mission as a company, and that is to empower every small business owner. We want to empower them to best understand, manage, and benefit from their online presence. So what is your online presence right now? What does it look like? What are you doing online to help market your business? Do you have a website? Do you have social media profiles? Do you do any advertising? Are you doing anything to help with your search engine optimization to make sure that your website is ranking? Well, we're going to share some tips and tricks. We're going to share some tips and tricks on the Gig Strategic Show for small business owners, and we're going to help you with how to best improve your online presence. And by the way, my name is James Burton. I'm the co-founder and CEO of Gig Strategic. We're a digital marketing company founded here in Charlottesville, Virginia. I've been in the digital marketing profession for over 10 years, worked with hundreds of small businesses. I've worked with Fortune 100 companies at large agencies in the past as well. Have a great experience over the past decade plus. But my passion really is the small business owner. You're going to get nuggets from this show, from every show that we do. Hopefully you'll get a nugget out of every show that if you implement it, it's going to help you grow your online presence, increase your digital visibility, and drive additional traffic and leads through your social channels, through your website, through all the things that you're doing online. So who is this for? Who have we built this program for? Well, it's for small business owners. It's for those people with the sign on the side of their truck, the mom and pop shops, the owner operators, those that are really doing a lot of the management of their company all on their own. And maybe you're doing some of their own digital marketing, doing their own website development, social media. They need strategies. They need ways to save some time and maybe save some money as well. And that's who we're trying to reach here with this program. And our goal is to really be able to impact thousands of small business owners across the country to help them improve their online presence. So today in this episode, we're going to be looking at your website. I'm going to share some basics of what you should and shouldn't have on a website, and some of the platforms maybe that you can use to build a website, and just some of the basic understanding, website 101 for a small business owner. If you're going to do your own website, build your own website, manage your own website, these are some musts that you're going to want to have and make sure that you're taking care of with your website. So let's look at some things we can do to help your with your website. If you have one or not, this is going to be important for you to just understand and review these things. So if you have a small business and you have a website that maybe you haven't looked at for a few years, or somebody else designed it and maybe it's outdated, these are just a couple things you're going to want to look at and make sure you've taken care of with your website. And why is this important? Well, let's look at some stats. I mentioned at the very beginning of the show, but less than 2/3 of small businesses have a website. How are people going to find you online if you don't have a website? You know, that's our virtual version of our business. And if anything, I know that the past couple years has been challenging with COVID and with some of the things that happened with being in lockdowns or with doing things more virtually. And now more than ever, people are searching online to find businesses to work with. So it's so important, mobile devices especially. So those are some things we're going to be talking about here. But you have to have a website. You need to stake that claim if you don't have one already. And a Facebook page is not a website. If you are sending traffic to your Facebook page, hey, I've got a Facebook page, and you use that as your website, I have concerns about that. For one, if you do that, you don't own Facebook and you don't own, maybe they shut you down or something happens with that site. You can't track as easily the folks that are coming through that to do things like retargeting through other channels. So there are a few reasons why I wouldn't rely on a social media profile as my website for my business. Definitely having your own website is critical. It's very important. And of the small businesses that have one, 69% of them are having annual sales of over $1 million in revenue. Some of these stats are a little dated from 2019, but they are, a lot of them are still very true. 70% of small businesses websites have no call to action. So that's something we're going to talk about. Make sure that we have a call to action on our website. 68% don't have an email address on the home page or some way to contact us. We want to make sure that we are able to contact the business, contact your business, right? 50% of online sales are lost when visitors can't find content. So if it's not clear where to go on your website, you could lose business that way. And 82% of small business websites they don't have social media accounts. So this has probably changed. I think that a lot more small business owners are making sure that they have those social profiles, and I would recommend having all of them. And there are reasons for that, whether you have a great following or not. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, all of these profiles, even if you're not using them or have a massive following on those profiles, those channels, it's great because you can put your website there. They have high domain authority and they're pointing back to our websites, which help increase our SEO. So there are reasons why I would do it, even if I didn't really regularly post or if I wasn't concerned about having a huge social following. I don't think there's anything wrong with going ahead and claiming those social profiles and building those for your small business. Next, some of the musts of your website. What are some of the musts? Well, tell the customer who you are and what you do. I think some of these things are self-explanatory. They seem obvious, but I've visited many websites where that may not be the case. Here is an example of a website that it's a little dated, and this was from a couple years ago, and there are several things with this that make it very challenging. This was on a mobile device, hard to read. You can see that the site's not secure. It's for a small landscaping business, and it's hard to see clearly who they are and what they do. So that's something we want to make sure that we hit right off the top, right? When they land on that home page, who are you and why should I contact you? We've seen some major shifts over the past decade plus in the way consumers are finding businesses to work with, and it's moved online. They're searching online. Word of mouth has changed dramatically. And we see the funnel changing too. It's getting squashed because of commoditization is one big factor, I think, that's making it more and more challenging for business owners. There's so much competition out there. So how do I differentiate myself quickly from my competitor? So I need to tell the user as they land on my website who I am and what I do. All right, and then they need to be able to easily contact you, right? Here's a business, and I like this one because it's a mobile landing page, and you've got at the bottom phone, email, Facebook. You can click on it. It's not the prettiest maybe landing page, doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, but it's very clear. It's an HVAC company, and it's very obvious that here's how I reach out to them and contact them. So make sure there's a way. I've been to websites where I can't even figure out how to contact the small business owner. We want to make sure we have a phone number, email address, something like that, so that people can contact us. And again, I mentioned sets your brand. Why you? What differentiates me from my competitors? I have to do that in a quick way, because otherwise I'm just a commodity. If I'm not a brand, I'm a commodity, and so it doesn't matter. Hey, just use them when they search. We want to set us apart. What makes us different? So we might see call to action, urgency. Why now? That's something important too. We want to be user focused always. We want to focus on the user and make sure that that user experience is excellent, so that they can navigate the site, they can find what they're looking for easily, and just it's clear what you do, the services you offer, how to find those services, how to navigate the website. They don't want it to be a treasure hunt and have to find it. We want to make it as easy as possible, because people are going to bounce if they can't find what they need and what they want right now, which is another thing I think that's impacting the funnel. Is I want it, and I want it now. The buyers now, they're going to be picking up the phone and interacting with a product or service in real time right then. So I'm going to talk about it in other episodes as we go through, but the strategy at Gig Strategic is being there and being sticky. So I won't go into all the details of that, but stay tuned for learning more about how we are there. We be there and we are sticky. We look at being sticky. I'm going to share more about that later. But with our websites, we want to make sure that there's a great user experience. When they land on the page, they know what we're talking about, what our products and services are, how to contact us, why we're different, why they should contact us, and then some technical considerations. So I've got here Online Marketing Charlottesville. You can see the landing page here, and there's one of the websites. When we go there, it's not secure. So SSL security is huge. If your website doesn't have an SSL certificate or it's not secure, that could impact your ranking with Google for search engine optimization, and it's also not a great user experience. In this case, when I clicked on it, this is the landing page that Google gives me, telling me my connection is not private, and that's very scary. Obviously, I'm going to bounce from that. So SSL security is very important. Latency, how long does it take to load? We want to make sure that your page loads quickly. So that when people land on the page, they're not sitting there waiting and twiddling their thumbs, right? They want to make sure that when they get to your page, it loads quickly, that the content is right there. And so latency can be an issue for why people might bounce, and something to consider as you're working on your website. Being responsive is another big deal. Responsive just means it fits the size of the screen that it's on. This isn't as big of a problem as it used to be, because most of the CMSs out there, CMS, content management system, different website platforms such as WordPress is one that we work with a lot. There are a bunch of them out there. Wix is a free one that people use. A lot of the domain providers, GoDaddy, for example, they'll provide some sort of website building tool, and so we want to make sure, typically a lot of these now are more responsive, so that as the screen size changes, the content on the page is responsive and will change accordingly. If not, we do want to make sure that we look at that we're aware, because again, mobile search is now far surpassed desktop and laptop. Depending on the industry, your vertical, you may see more social, more mobile and more than others. Others may see more desktop, laptop, but over 70% on average of searches are starting out now on mobile for small businesses with the services that we're providing. So we want to make sure that we do render well on that small screen. And then some SEO best practices. So I'm going to share a couple things. I really like this website, Albemarle Heating and Air. Looking at this website, it tells me pretty quickly what they do, making health, safety and comfort our number one priority since 1988. There's a call today, so there's a call to action. It's very clear who they are, what they do, and it's got great top navigation, makes sense where I can go and learn more and easily navigate the website. So that's an example of a website, and it was a secure site. So a lot of the things that they're doing right, and I would recommend for any business website. Something else to consider is tracking pixels. So whether you use Google Analytics, which is free, and it's also provides a lot of great data. We do want to have something on our website so that we can track what's happening there. So I go to business owners sometimes and say, how many people visited your website last month? And they have no idea. We know all our numbers as business owners. We should know how many people are coming to our website, and out of those people, how many people are contacting us and reaching out to us. So that's helpful information to have. So getting some sort of tags on your website. A tag is a pixel, is a short code, a little bit of code that's usually put into the header and in the top of the body of your website, of all across your website. And using those pixels, that little short snippet of code or tag on your website is a way to help look at and see and understand the traffic. You can get all kinds of information from that tag. How many new users versus returning customers are coming back to your website, where they're coming from. Are they all out of the country? Are they out of state, or are they in our locality? We can see that information. We can find out how long they spend on our website, how many pages they go to. There's great information there, and it helps for benchmarking as we're adding in we're focusing on SEO or focusing on social. We want to see, is our organic traffic going up? Are we getting more leads from social media to our website? Our paid channels, are they working? So if we're doing Google paid search or display advertising, we want to make sure that we're tagging all of that traffic and we see it coming into our website so that we can learn and see, is it working or not working, or how can I improve it? There are some helpful tools out there, some free tools to crawl your website. Screaming Frog is a great tool I love the name, and it's one that you can use to crawl your website and get an idea of where there might be some holes, where there might be some problems. Do you have 404s out there? Do you have the same title on all your pages, same H1 tag? Do you have meta descriptions? Those types of things. Web page tests, doing some speed tests, checking to see if your page is loading quickly. That's important as well. TechnicalSEO.com gives some more SEO information, tips and tricks there. And then Google has their own suite of tools for websites and to best understand your website. So there's a few things here. I hope you found something in this that will that will help you and help your business succeed and be more successful online. So think about your website. It's something that probably every few months we should be checking and looking at. It can be a static representation of our business, whereas the social channels may be more dynamic. We do think that having dynamic content on your website, such as a blog, that can be helpful not only for SEO, but also just as a great user experience for your customers to learn more about you. All right, and to finish up, I do like to have fun. We do a lot of puns in our office. Puns are something, I am a dad, and so dad jokes and puns are something that are important to me and just required. I grew up with a father who was often very punny, and so I like to pass that on to my kids and like to share just a couple puns to keep things fun for small business owners, because we know life is stressful. Running a business can be challenging and difficult, so sometimes it's nice to just take a break, laugh a little bit, maybe laugh at ourselves, chuckle some. And so I've got a couple. This is from a pun calendar that my sister-in-law gave me. It's on my desk. These are from earlier in the year, but let's see. We'll start with this one. I uploaded my 1,000th photo to Instagram today. Then they upgraded me to Insta Kilogram after my 1,000th upload. There's that one. My interviewer interviewed and asked me if I could perform under pressure. I said no, but told them I could perform Bohemian Rhapsody instead. That's that one. All right. Dad, do you think we should have a champagne toast at my wedding? No, I greatly prefer butter on my toast. And speaking of my daughter, my wife didn't think I'd name our daughter something ridiculous, but I called her Bluff. So, a couple quick puns. I hope you enjoy those, and just trying to keep it a little bit light as we navigate these challenging issues within digital marketing and running a small business. So next week we're going to be looking at your Google business profile. Do you have your Google business profile? Is it claimed? We're going to give you some tips and tricks on how to optimize your Google profile and to help make sure you're getting the most out of it. So we'll see you next time on the Gig Strategic Show, our show on YouTube channel for small business owners to help you best understand, manage, and benefit from your online presence.